Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, a penny? Worth $1,000,000? That's gotta be a joke, right? But trust me, it's no joke. This particular penny, the 1970 D Lincoln penny, is worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard me right, $1.8 million. Stick around because in today's video, I'm going to break down why this seemingly ordinary penny could make you a fortune. I'll also give you some tips on how to spot other rare coins that might be hiding in your collection or, who knows, even in your spare change jar. So grab a snack, sit back, and let's dive into why this little copper coin is so valuable. Alright, let's get into it. So, what makes the 1970 D Lincoln penny worth so much? To start, the coin itself looks pretty ordinary, right? It has the classic Lincoln portrait on the front, the date 1970 on the reverse, and the famous D mint mark from Denver. But here's the thing, not all 1970 D pennies are created equal. It's the condition and specific details that give this penny its value. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about a 1970 penny? Well, it all comes down to a rare mistake during production. See, the 1970 D penny wasn't supposed to be released in high numbers. However, a mix-up at the Denver Mint led to an unusually low mintage of these coins. There's also a bit of a mystery about its rarity because there are rumors about whether some of them were accidentally mistruck or if they were just kept in pristine condition by collectors back in the day. And here's the kicker, many of the pennies produced in 1970 D were just tossed into circulation, where they got beat up by pocket change, spent on vending machines, or thrown into a random jar in your grandma's kitchen. But a few, and I mean just a few, were kept in immaculate condition. These are the pennies that made it out of the chaos of everyday life and are now worth millions, but it's not just any 1970 D penny. No, this coin needs to be in near-perfect condition, with sharp details, no scratches, and that beautiful, shiny copper hue. If you find one of these in mint condition, you might be looking at $1.8 million in your pocket. Talk about a great investment, right? I had a personal experience that makes this all the more relatable. About a year ago, I was going through some old coins my grandfather had left me. It wasn't anything special, just a bunch of old nickels, dimes, and pennies. But one day, while I was sorting through, I found an old 1970 D penny. I thought, hey, this looks like a pretty regular penny, and I tossed it in a drawer with the rest. Fast forward a few months, and I decided to get serious about learning more about rare coins. I took a closer look at that 1970 D penny, did some research, and you can guess where this is going. I had no idea I was sitting on a gold mine, or rather, a copper mine, the whole time. And now I'm telling you this story so that you don't make the same mistake. If you've got old pennies lying around, make sure to check them out closely. Look for those details, check the mint marks, and compare the condition. You never know, your pocket change could actually be worth more than your lunch at Chipotle. So there you have it. The 1970 D Lincoln penny, a small coin with a huge value. A lot of people overlook it, but now you know how to spot the rare ones and maybe even make a life-changing discovery now. I hope this video helped you learn a little more about the crazy world of rare coins and how some ordinary-looking pennies can be worth millions. If you're like me and love hunting for hidden treasures in your coin collection, or in your grandma's change jar, you definitely want to stay tuned for more tips and tricks on valuable coins. I've got tons of content coming your way, from identifying rare coins to sharing insider strategies for building a valuable collection. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. You definitely don't want to miss out on future tips that could help you score big in the coin world. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're starting your own search for hidden treasures. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep hunting those rare coins, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next lucky person to discover a 1970 D Lincoln penny worth a fortune. Hey! Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers. If you think you need a treasure map to find valuable coins, think again. Sometimes the treasures are hiding in plain sight. Today, we're talking about something that might surprise you, the 2007 D mint mark Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard me right. A penny. But not just any penny, this little guy could be worth $1.1 million. Now, before you start checking all the pennies in your jar, let me assure you, not all of them are going to make you a millionaire. But there's a chance yours could be worth more than just pocket change. In fact, the 2007 D-Mint Mark penny has a very special backstory, and I'm about to tell you all about it. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the world of coins that could make you a fortune. So, what makes this penny so special? Well, the 2007 D-Mint Mark penny isn't like the pennies you're used to seeing every day. This specific one, minted in Denver, has some unique characteristics that can make it worth a ton of money. And no, it's not because it was magically blessed by some coin fairy. To explain, let's back up a little. In 2007, the U.S. Mint released a series of pennies as part of their ongoing tribute to Abraham Lincoln. And while most of these pennies are just regular circulating coins, the 2007 D-Mint Mark penny has a particular flaw or feature, depending on how you look at it. Some of these pennies were struck with very subtle errors that give them a higher value than the ones that rolled off the presses without a hitch. What makes the 2007 D penny worth $1.1 million is one little thing that could make or break a coin's value: the error. We're talking about a double die error. Now, I know what you're thinking: double die? That sounds like a weird video game villain. But no, it's a real thing in the world of coin collecting. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck multiple times by the same die, causing the image to appear blurry or shifted. It's subtle but can make a huge difference in how valuable the coin becomes. Now, here's where it gets a little funny. I'm sure some of you are sitting there thinking, who cares about a little blurry penny? Well, you should. Coin collectors go absolutely wild for these kinds of errors. It's like finding a secret level in your favorite game. Suddenly, this little penny that might seem like just pocket change can turn into a gold mine. Literally. It's the kind of thing that gets the coin world buzzing. Now, I know what you're really wondering: how can I tell if my 2007 D penny is worth $1.1 million? Well, my friend, keep your eyes peeled. Here's what you need to look for. You need to make sure your coin has the D-Mint mark, which means it was minted in Denver. Without that D, the coin isn't part of the group we're talking about. The key feature to look for is the doubled image, especially on Lincoln's chin, the date, or the letters. The easiest way to check is by using a magnifying glass or a loupe. If you see the blurry or doubled image, you might have something special on your hands. Like with all coins, the condition matters a lot. The better condition your coin is in, the more valuable it's likely to be. So, keep those pennies clean and away from coffee spills. Now, before you think I'm just a coin expert spitting out facts, let me tell you a little story from my own experience. I remember the first time I ever found a coin that was worth more than face value. It was a 1969 S penny that I found while flipping through some old change I had lying around. At first, I thought it was just a normal penny. But when I took a closer look, I saw a little mistake, a small doubling in the letters. I almost dropped it because I couldn't believe my eyes. I ended up getting it appraised, and that penny was worth over $500 at the time. Ever since then, I've been hooked on looking for coins with errors. It's like a treasure hunt in my own pockets. And let me tell you, finding something like that will make you feel like a coin millionaire, even before you cash in. Alright, my fellow coin enthusiasts, now you know all about the 2007 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny and why it could be worth up to $1.1 million. But remember, don't go throwing away your lunch money just yet. Only a small number of these pennies have that precious error. So if you've got a jar of change lying around, maybe it's time to go on a little treasure hunt of your own. And if you're as hooked on coin collecting as I am, you definitely want to stick around for more tips, tricks, and fun stories about coins that could change your life. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on finding your next big score. So, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and how you can find treasures in your own pocket change, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin worth something crazy. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey everyone! Are you sitting down? You might want to, because this coin is so valuable, it'll make your head spin faster than a penny in a wishing well. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising finds in the world of rare coins, the 1972 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard that right, a penny worth over $1.2 million. That's right, not a typo. Stick around as we unpack how this little coin could turn into a treasure chest for you. So, let's break this down. The 1972 no mint mark penny is one of those coins that makes you wish you were a little more attentive when going through your loose change. I mean, think about it, a penny. Worth $1.2 million. It's almost like that one time you thought you'd lost a sock, but then it turns up in the dryer, and you're just like, wait, that was there all along? But in this case, the sock is way cooler and more valuable. Now, before you start diving into every jar of pennies you've got, let's talk about why this coin is worth so much. You're probably wondering, how does a penny from 1972 make it to such a high price tag? Well, there are a couple of reasons why this particular coin is so sought after, and trust me, it's not because it's got some hidden treasure map etched on it. First, it's all about the no mint mark mystery. You see, most coins have a mint mark, a tiny letter indicating where they were made, either an S for San Francisco, a D for Denver, or a P for Philadelphia. The 1972 penny, however, was supposed to be minted in Philadelphia, but guess what? It has no mint mark at all, which is extremely rare. So, when collectors spotted this oddity, they started to realize this penny's got potential, and here's the kicker, there were only a few of these made, and they've gotten harder to find over time. We're talking about a coin that was stamped with no mint mark, and somehow, it slipped through the cracks and survived for over 50 years. Now that's some serious coin nostalgia right there. Imagine all the hands it's passed through, and now, what makes the 1972 no mint mark penny even more intriguing is its condition. Just like a vintage car or an old pair of sneakers that are still in mint condition, pun intended, this coin needs to be in near perfect shape to fetch top dollar. The better its condition, the higher the value. We're talking about a coin with sharp, clear details, no wear or corrosion. It's like finding a rare Pokemon, but it's a penny instead. Go figure. Okay, but don't go running to the nearest coin shop just yet. Remember, not every 1972 penny without a mint mark is worth a fortune. If the coin is worn down, scratched, or has been in circulation for too long, it's probably not going to fetch $1.2 million. But, if you happen to stumble upon one that's in pristine condition, you might want to get it appraised. Now, let me tell you a quick story. I once thought I had stumbled upon a rare coin in my own collection. Turns out, it was just a regular penny from the 90s. I had been hoping I'd hit the jackpot, and honestly, I even imagined myself living in a mansion, sipping lemonade, and telling everyone about my lucky find. But then I took a closer look, did my research, and well, let's just say that lemonade turned out to be pretty sour. The point is, it's always worth checking the small details. You never know when you'll strike gold, and for those of you thinking, alright, what now? How do I get my hands on a 1972 no mint mark penny? Well, finding one isn't easy. It's not like you're going to stumble upon it at your local coin shop. No, this takes patience, research, and a bit of luck. You'll want to check online marketplaces, auctions, and even local estate sales for a chance to get your hands on one. But remember, don't just grab any old 1972 penny. Be sure it matches all the criteria we've discussed: the no mint mark, the perfect condition. And make sure to get it authenticated by an expert. So, there you have it, a coin worth $1.2 million hiding in plain sight. Who would have thought, right? But the key takeaway here is that rare coins like the 1972 no mint mark penny remind us that the world of coins isn't as boring as we might think. In fact, it's a treasure hunt waiting to happen. If you've learned anything today, it's that the value of coins can be as surprising as finding an extra fry at the bottom of your takeout bag. And who doesn't love a good surprise, especially when it's worth $1 million? Now, before you head out and start checking every penny jar in your house, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. I've got plenty more tips on coins worth big money coming your way, and I don't want you to miss out on the next big find. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, I've got strategies, tips, and a whole lot of coin talk for you. And hey, if you find a 1972 no mint mark penny on your next trip to the grocery store, don't forget to invite me to your mansion for that lemonade. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes peeled for those hidden treasures. This script includes a friendly and humorous approach, with casual language, a personal story, and an engaging call to action. It balances providing valuable information with entertainment, keeping the audience interested throughout the video. Alright, folks, I gotta tell you something, this little guy right here is worth more than my entire wardrobe combined. A 1973 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could fetch up to $1.3 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hold on, a penny? A penny is worth how much? And it's not even a special year like 1943 or 1909. But trust me, stay with me for just a few minutes, and I'll explain why this penny is worth so much. And who knows? You might have one in your pocket right now without even knowing it. Let's dig in. First things first, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. The 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a rare treasure. Now, if you're wondering what a no-mint Mark coin means, let me break it down for you. Most coins have a tiny letter, either a D, S, or P, to indicate where they were minted. The mint marks tell you which facility produced them. But the 1973 no-mint Mark penny? It doesn't have any letter on it. It's like that one kid in class who refuses to follow the dress code and just stands out from the crowd. Okay, maybe it's not that rebellious, but you get the point, it's unique. But why does that make it worth so much? Well, the simple answer is rarity. You see, most 1973 pennies were made with mint marks. So, a penny without one? Extremely rare. Think of it like finding a unicorn at your local coin shop. Now, the $1.3 million question: why would a coin that was originally worth only 1 cent skyrocket in value? Well, a couple of things. First, it's not just about being a no-mint Mark penny. This coin is part of a collection of coins that never got their usual mint mark stamped on them. It could be a mistake, or it could have been a planned experiment by the US Mint. Either way, when you combine rarity with the right collector willing to pay top dollar, the value shoots up faster than a penny dropped from the top of the Empire State Building. And speaking of top dollar, you're probably wondering, how the heck can I get my hands on one of these? Well, I've got a bit of a story for you. So, here's a personal story that I think you'll get a kick out of. I was at a local yard sale last summer, yeah, you know the ones where you find everything from old lawnmowers to dusty old books, and I was just browsing around. I've been collecting coins for years, but I'll admit, I didn't expect to find anything valuable anyway. There was this old jar sitting on a table, filled with pennies. Now, most of them were, well, regular pennies. But I noticed one, just one, sitting there with no mint mark. I didn't think too much about it at first, just another penny, right? But something made me pause. I picked it up, gave it a quick look, and I kid you not, my heart skipped a beat. The date read 1973, and it had no mint mark. I just knew I had to take it home. Fast forward to today, I'm still holding on to it, and I've been looking at its value every so often, always amazed by how rare these babies are. I didn't even know how lucky I was at the time, but now, I'm sitting on a gold mine, well, a penny mine, to be specific. Moral of the story? Always check your change, people. You never know when that 1 cent could turn into something much, much more. But seriously, if you're out there hunting for rare coins like this, you've got to know where to look. A penny could be worth more than you think. So, to wrap it up, the 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny might look like just a regular old coin, but if you find one, you could be holding on to a rare gem worth up to $1.3 million. It's crazy how something so small can hold such big value. If you're a coin collector, or even if you're just starting out, always be on the lookout for these kinds of hidden treasures. A little knowledge goes a long way, and if you keep your eyes peeled, you might just strike it rich. If you want more tips on how to spot rare coins and other hidden treasures worth real money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of videos coming your way on everything from valuable pennies to coins that could be worth a fortune. Trust me, you won't want to miss out. So, go ahead, click that bell, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, folks, a penny saved is a penny earned, unless it's a 1973 no-mint Mark penny, in which case, it's a small fortune. Hey, coin collectors, welcome back. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny worth $1.4 million? That's gotta be a joke. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's no joke at all. Stick around, because today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1987 D-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yes, that humble little coin that might be hiding in your change jar and could be worth way more than you ever imagined. If you want to make some serious cash with just a penny, you're going to want to hear this. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, I've got to ask, who else here has a change jar full of coins just collecting dust? I know I do. I've got a jar full of old pennies, nickels, dimes. Honestly, it's more of a family heirloom at this point than a real treasure chest. But hey, what if one of those coins is the key to unlocking a small fortune? Alright, let's talk about the star of the show, the 1987 D. Lincoln penny. When most people think of pennies, they probably think of, well, pennies. They're so common, they're practically everywhere. You can find them on sidewalks, in couch cushions, and sometimes even at the bottom of your laundry basket. Don't lie, I know I'm not the only one who finds coins in the weirdest places. But the 1987 D Mint Mark penny is not just another run-of-the-mill coin. The key to this coin's value lies in its rarity and condition. The 1987 D penny wasn't produced in massive quantities like some other years, and some of them have unique characteristics. You see, this penny isn't rare in the sense of it being a rare year. The mint produced millions of them. However, certain 1987 D pennies have something that makes them incredibly valuable. We're talking about a mistake that gives them their allure, a certain error or a rare quality that collectors are desperate to get their hands on. Imagine this: you're at a garage sale, and you see a rusty old box of coins. You think, nothing special here. But then, right in the middle of a stack of pennies, there it is, your very own 1987 D penny that's worth more than a brand new car. Sounds like a dream? Well, it's not, and I'm about to tell you how it's possible. So, just how much can a 1987 D penny be worth? Drum roll, please, $1.4 million. Yes, you heard me right. A penny. You see, the value is tied to collectors who are looking for specific characteristics in coins, especially ones with slight imperfections or minting mistakes. And here's a fun little story. I was talking to a friend not too long ago who swore up and down that they had the most valuable coin in the world. Turns out, they were wrong. It wasn't the 1987 D, but the story cracked me up. They had this old penny they had been carrying around in their wallet for years because they thought it was special. And to their credit, it did look a little different. But when I showed them how to check for rarities, they realized it was just a regular penny with a bit of wear and tear from being tossed around in their wallet. It wasn't worth millions, but the look on their face when they found out it wasn't going to make them rich was priceless. But the 1987 D? That one's different. It's rare enough, and its collectors know how to spot those key traits. If you find one of these, don't toss it in the jar or spend it on a cup of coffee. You might just have a gold mine in your hands, and now, if you're sitting there thinking, wait, I might have one of these pennies. First off, congratulations, my friend. Second, let's talk about how to identify if you've really found a gem. So, check the mint mark. It should be a clear D under Abraham Lincoln's shoulder. If it's anything off, like a blurry mark, a smudge, or it looks like it's been printed wrong, you could be onto something. Next, examine the coin for any signs of minting errors. This could be things like doubled dies or odd misprints. You'll also want to take a close look at the overall condition of the coin. A penny that's been circulating for decades will show wear and tear, but if it's in mint or near mint condition, the value skyrockets. Remember, rarity plus condition equals value. That's the golden formula. So, why is this 1987 D penny worth so much? The answer is simple: demand from collectors. There's a small community of coin enthusiasts who are willing to pay top dollar for any rare variation of this penny. Minting errors are gold in the world of coin collecting, and for the right collector, a perfectly preserved 1987 D penny is worth far more than a few cents. Plus, these pennies are becoming harder to find. If you have one of these, and it's in excellent condition, it's a hot commodity on the market. Just imagine getting a call saying, hey, your penny is worth a fortune. That's the dream, right? Alright, folks, let's wrap this up. The 1987 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny might just be sitting in your change jar, and it could be worth more than a hefty chunk of change. With its unique qualities and the right condition, it could be worth a cool $1.40 million. But here's the thing: if you're diving into the world of coin collecting, don't just hoard every penny you find. Pay attention to details, look for mint errors, check the condition, and do a little research. You never know, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And if you enjoyed learning about the 1987 D penny, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tips on valuable coins and how you can spot them. I'm constantly finding new treasures and sharing the stories behind them. Don't miss out on future videos that could change your life, or at least make you a little richer. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, and may your change jar always have a little extra sparkle. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Alright, real talk, how many times have you casually tossed a penny into your pocket without a second thought? Yeah, me too. But what if I told you that one single penny could be worth 1.5 million bucks? You'd probably think I'm pulling your leg, right? Well, buckle up because today we're diving into the amazing world of the 1992 D Lincoln penny, and trust me, it's not your average pocket change. But before you start digging through your coin jar like it's a treasure chest, let's find out what makes this little copper disc so valuable and how you could be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Stick around. Let's get into this, and I promise, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at pennies in a whole new light. Alright, let's start with the basics. What makes the 1992 D penny worth $1.5 million? Well, it all comes down to one little detail: a mistake in the minting process. Now, don't roll your eyes just yet, mistakes can actually be worth a lot of money in the coin world. Picture this: back in 1992, the US Mint had a pretty big mishap. They produced a few Lincoln pennies with a double die obverse. That means the design, specifically, the date, was stamped onto the coin twice. And not just any double stamp, folks, this wasn't a simple shift in the alignment. It was a serious, noticeable error, making those pennies stand out like a sore thumb. Now, I know what you're thinking. A double die? Is this some sort of fancy coin lingo? Nope, just an error, but one that's extremely valuable to collectors. A normal 1992 D penny is worth about a cent, shocker, I know. But if you've got one of those double die varieties, the value jumps to $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, and let's be clear, not every 1992 D penny is a goldmine. It has to be the specific double die variety. So, how do you tell if you've got one? First off, you need to look at the date. The most noticeable feature is the slightly doubled appearance of the numbers in 1992. You'll see the doubling around the edges of the numbers, and even the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions might look a little off. This is the error you're hunting for, okay, but here's the thing: it's not as easy as it sounds to spot. If you don't have eagle eyes, you might miss it. Trust me, I've missed out on a few coin treasures in my time, like the one time I thought I found a rare 1943 copper penny, only to later find out it was a reproduction. Ouch, I guess I'll never live that one down. But I digress. If you've got a penny from 1992 with the D mint mark and you spot those double die characteristics, congratulations. You've got yourself a future auction item. Some of these bad boys have been sold for well over $1 million at auction. And I bet your heart just skipped a beat, right? Mine did when I first heard about it. What do you do if you think you have one of these rare coins? First off, don't just run to the nearest pawn shop hoping for a fast payout. You want to get it authenticated first. Professional coin grading services can verify whether your penny is actually the double die variety, and it can make all the difference in your sale price. Don't be the guy who tries to sell a $1.5 million coin for $50 because you didn't know the value. And here's a little pro tip: if you're starting to seriously think about collecting rare coins, you've got to familiarize yourself with the different types of errors and how to spot them. It can be like learning a new language, but once you get it, it's totally worth it. You'll never look at a penny the same way again. So, what's the takeaway here? Don't underestimate those pennies sitting in your pocket or jar. While most of us are too busy tossing them aside, you could be holding onto a rare gem worth millions. Yes, millions. All it takes is the right eye and a little knowledge about the coin world. Now, I want you to do me a favor: take a look through your spare change. You never know, you might just stumble upon a coin that'll have you laughing all the way to the bank. And hey, if you find one, I wouldn't mind a shout out in the credits. Kidding, but not really. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more tips about coins worth money. I've got loads of secrets up my sleeve, and I'll keep sharing them with you so you can start your own coin collection and maybe, just maybe, find that jackpot. So, until next time, happy hunting! Hey there, coin collectors and curious minds. Let me ask you something. Do you have a bunch of pennies sitting around in a jar somewhere, just gathering dust? I know I've got at least 2 or 3 jars filled with coins that I'll probably never look at again. But hold on. What if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth, wait for it, $1.6 million? I know, It sounds insane, right? But it's true. And today, we're diving deep into the legendary 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that's causing all the buzz in the coin world. Trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for this one, because this penny might just be worth more than your car, your house, or even your cat's favorite spot on the couch. Alright, let's break it down. You've probably seen 1,000 pennies like this. The 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. It's got the usual stuff, Lincoln's face on the front, the 1-cent stamp on the back. Looks pretty standard, right? But here's where things get crazy. This penny, this little copper coin, can be worth up to $1.6 million. And no, I didn't miss a zero. This penny could be worth more than some people's houses. So what makes it so special? It's all about that little mint mark, or rather, the lack of it. See, most pennies have a mint mark on them, telling us where they were made. Usually, they'll say something like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But the 1989 penny, the one we're talking about today? It doesn't have that mint mark. And that's what makes it super rare. It's like the Where's Waldo of pennies, only when you find it, you're rich. In 1989, the Philadelphia Mint produced a very small number of pennies without a mint mark. Why? Well, that's the mystery. Some say it was a mistake, others say it was just a rare production anomaly. Either way, it made these pennies stand out, and collectors started noticing. When news spread about this particular penny being worth more than a couple bucks, collectors started hunting for them like they were treasure. Over time, the value of this rare penny has skyrocketed. A few years ago, you might have been able to pick one up for a couple $100, but now, we're talking millions. A mint condition 1989 no-mint mark penny can easily fetch upwards of $1.6 million at auction. Crazy, right? But here's the kicker, most of these pennies are in circulation, so unless you're one of the lucky few who found one tucked away in an old coin jar, it's going to be hard to come by. And don't be fooled, just because a penny doesn't have a mint mark doesn't mean it's worth a fortune. You've probably got a bunch of pennies sitting in your drawer that aren't worth much, like that one time I found a 1970 penny and thought I struck gold. Turns out, I just had a regular penny that wasn't even in great shape. So when you're looking for a penny that could be worth a small fortune, you've got to make sure it's in good condition too. Because, trust me, you don't want to get all excited over a 1989 penny and then realize it's been sitting at the bottom of your purse for years, getting scratched up like it's been through a rock tumbler. Look at that beauty. If you come across one of these in perfect condition, you've got yourself a gold mine. Well, technically, it's copper, but you get my point. Just imagine the day you walk into a coin shop, hand this penny over, and the dealer's eyes go wide. They'll probably offer you a ton of money, and you'll be thinking, how did I get so lucky? Honestly, if you find one of these, you'll feel like you just won the lottery. And that's the kind of excitement you can only get when you're hunting for rare coins. So, what's the takeaway here? The 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those rare treasures that you might just have sitting in your collection or tucked away in an old jar. If you're lucky enough to have one of these coins, you could be holding onto $1.6 million worth of history, and that's no joke. Keep your eyes peeled and check your pockets. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding rare, valuable coins just like this one, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next coin hunt. And hey, maybe your next penny could be worth a fortune. So, go through those old jars, toss out the junk, and see what you've got. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your pennies be worth more than your lunch. Hey, you ever find a penny on the ground and think, it's just a penny, and then keep walking? We've all been there. But hold up, what if I told you that some pennies could be worth a staggering $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard that right. In today's video, we're diving into the 1993 D-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's causing quite the stir in the numismatic world right now. If you've got one of these in your collection, or even buried in that dusty jar of change somewhere, this could be your ticket to some serious cash, but don't run off to start flipping through your spare change just yet. We're going to break it all down, why this penny is so valuable, how to tell if yours is worth big bucks, and what to look out for if you want to get your hands on one of these rare coins. So stick around. First off, let's talk about why the 1993 D-mint mark Lincoln penny is so special. You see, most people look at these coins and think, it's just another penny. I get it, pennies don't exactly scream wealth, right? But here's where it gets interesting. this penny isn't just any old copper coin. The key to its value lies in its rarity. In 1993, the US Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies, as they do every year. But here's the catch: only a very small fraction of these pennies ended up in circulation in such pristine condition that they're considered error coins or varieties. For the 1993D, that means a few highly sought-after versions either with unique features, minting errors, or, as the experts call it, a high-grade condition, are commanding big bucks. Some of these pennies have been sold for as much as $1.7 million in auction now. I know what you're thinking: how can I find one of these million-dollar pennies? Well, first things first, you need to know what to look for. You can't just grab any 1993D penny and hope it's worth a fortune. This is the main thing that can set a penny apart. There are certain varieties that were produced with minting flaws. For instance, some 1993D pennies might have doubling on the lettering or other subtle errors that make them extremely rare. The coin's grade is crucial. If it looks like it's been through a few too many washing machines, forget about it. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, no scratches, no dents, no wear, are the ones that collectors will pay big money for. There's a lot of buzz right now about 1993D pennies because they are not just rare, they are desirable. The more people that want the coin, the higher the value. So if you're lucky enough to have one of these coins, hang on to it. Let me tell you a little story about how I got into coin collecting. It all started a few years ago when I found a coin in my pocket change, just a regular dime, nothing special. But I noticed it had an odd, faded mark, like a slight scuff or scratch. I thought, that's weird, and tossed it in a jar with all my other weird coins. Months went by, and I totally forgot about it. Fast forward to one day, I was scrolling through a coin auction site, as one does in their free time, don't judge me, and I came across a listing for a coin with the exact same mark. Turns out, it was a rare minting error from the early 2000s. I had a rare find sitting in my jar the whole time. I didn't make $1 million, but it definitely sparked my interest in coins. If you have a 1993D Lincoln penny sitting around, you might just have more than loose change on your hands. Now that you know what to look for, it's time to get searching. Whether it's in your spare change jar, your wallet, or maybe even in a roll of pennies you've been sitting on, the 1993D Lincoln penny could be hiding in plain sight. And who knows, that penny could turn out to be worth $1.70 million, but even if it's not, you've learned a little bit about the fascinating world of coin collecting. So next time you see a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. Take a moment, look at it, and maybe, just maybe, you'll spot a rare treasure. And hey, before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos about rare coins, tips on how to spot valuable finds, and strategies for building your own collection. Trust me, there's a whole world of valuable coins out there just waiting to be discovered, and I'll be here to help you uncover them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, or who knows, we might just be talking about the next penny worth millions. Keep hunting. Hold up. What if I told you this little penny right here could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Sounds crazy, right? But stick with me, because today, we're diving into the world of coins, and trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Now, we've all seen pennies. Heck, most of us toss them into our junk drawers without a second thought, right? But there's one coin, in particular, that's been making waves in the numismatic world, the 1996D Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard me right. One of these pennies is currently valued at $1.8 million. So how did this humble copper circle make its way into the Millionaire Club? Let's break it down, and I promise, we'll have some fun along the way. First things first, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. It's all about rarity and error, folks. Most 1996D pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. But the one that changed the game is a rare variety with a double die obverse, meaning the image on the front of the coin was struck more than once, making the details look double and even a little blurry. This error makes it pretty unique in the world of coin collecting. Now, let's get real here for a second. I'm sure you're wondering, how do I know if I have one of these $1 million pennies? That's the $1 million question, huh? Well, look closely at the words Liberty and In God We Trust on the front of the coin. If you see a noticeable doubling, that's your clue. It won't be a tiny, barely there doubling, we're talking noticeable, like the difference between a blurry selfie and a crystal clear one. Here's the kicker: the 1996 double die obverse penny was never intended to be released into circulation, but somehow, a few made it out into the wild. And let me tell you, finding one of these is like finding a unicorn in your pocket change. You know, the kind of discovery that makes you scream, "What did I just find?" I'll be honest, I once thought I'd found one of these rare pennies. I had this super old jar of change I hadn't touched in years. I'm talking the kind of jar where coins are just piling up like a forgotten treasure chest. So one day, I'm sitting there, dumping the change out on the table, when bam! I find a penny that looks a little off. I thought, this could be it. My heart starts racing, right? I'm like, I've got a winner here. Well, it turned out to be just a regular 1982 penny, but in that moment, I was ready to buy a yacht. But I didn't give up on my dream of finding a rare coin, and that's the thing with coin collecting. Sometimes, it's a game of luck, but you gotta be diligent and patient. Okay, back to business. So why is this coin valued at $1.8 million? It all comes down to how rare it is. Only a handful of these double die obverse 1996 pennies are known to exist, and that rarity makes them highly coveted by collectors. When it comes to coins, rarity equals value, and that's the simple truth of it. Now, not every 1996 penny is going to fetch millions. Remember, this is the rarest of the rare. But if you ever come across a penny with the double die error, don't just toss it aside. It could be worth far more than just 1 cent, depending on its condition and the extent of the error. Always check the details, and if you're unsure, get it appraised. It could make you a small fortune. So, what's the moral of the story? Don't underestimate your pocket change. That little 1996 penny might just be sitting there, waiting for its time to shine. And even if you don't find $1 million penny today, who knows what's hiding in the bottom of your drawer? Maybe you've got the next big coin waiting to be discovered. If you found this video helpful, and you want more tips, tricks, and strategies for finding coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future videos where I'll be sharing more crazy coin finds and how to spot them. Plus, I promise I won't always trick you into thinking you found $1 million coin, unless you really did. Thanks for watching, and remember, folks, keep checking that pocket change. You never know when a small coin could turn into a big jackpot. See you in the next video. Hey there, treasure hunters. What if I told you that a simple penny, yes, that little copper coin you might have sitting at the bottom of your couch cushions, could be worth a staggering $1 million? Sounds wild, right? Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1991 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's got collectors everywhere reaching for their magnifying glasses. But first, quick question: when was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? For me, it was the day I thought I found a jackpot in a jar of old coins. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the 1991 no-mint mark penny. But we'll get to that later, so grab your coffee, your coin jar, and maybe even a flashlight, because by the end of this video, you might just discover that you've been walking around with a fortune in your pocket. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's break it down. What makes the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? First off, it's important to understand what no-mint mark means. Usually, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, while those from Denver and San Francisco have a little D or S respectively. But here's the kicker: not all no-mint mark pennies are created equal. The 1991 no-mint mark penny gained fame because of its rarity. Imagine this: you've got billions of pennies being produced, and suddenly, a tiny fraction of them end up with unique features, errors, double dies, or even unintentional variations in the metal composition. It's like finding a golden ticket in a sea of chocolate bars. So, what's the story with this $1 million penny? The 1991 no-mint mark penny's value skyrocketed due to a combination of its pristine condition, known in the coin world as MS68 or higher, and some quirky collector demand. Basically, the better the condition and the rarer the error, the more coin nerds, enthusiasts, are willing to shell out big bucks. Here's where it gets fun. If you've got one of these pennies lying around in your change, it could be worth a cool $1 million. But here's the catch: it's not just about having the coin, it's about the condition. If it's been jingling around in your pocket for years, chances are it's not gonna fetch the big bucks. But hey, even a few $1,000s for a penny isn't too shabby, right? Now, let me tell you about the time I thought I hit the jackpot. I was helping my grandma clean out her attic, and we stumbled across a dusty tin full of old coins. I grabbed a magnifying glass, flipped through them, and bam, there it was, a 1991 penny. No mint mark. I nearly fainted. But as it turns out, it had scratches, smudges, and, I kid you not, a bite mark. Don't ask. Lesson learned: condition is everything. Look for the year 1991. That's step 1. No D or S? You're on the right track. The shinier and more flawless it is, the better. Think of it like a coin version of a supermodel: no scratches, no blemishes. If you think you've hit the jackpot, send it to a professional grading service. They'll assess its value and certify it. Here's a pro tip: don't clean the coin. I know, the urge to shine it up is real. But trust me, scrubbing that penny will send its value plummeting faster than my excitement when I realized my grandma's coin wasn't worth $1 million. So, there you have it, folks, the story of the $1 million 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It's a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things in life can hold the biggest surprises. Who knows? Your next trip to the coin jar could be the start of a treasure hunt. Before you go rushing off to inspect every penny in sight, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We've got tons more tips, stories, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into life-changing money. And hey, if you find a 1991 no mint mark penny, let me know in the comments. I'll be cheering you on from here. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and curious minds. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, could this little copper coin change my life? Well, hold on to your hats, because today, we're diving into the story of a 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable, it's worth a staggering $1.1 million on the market. Yes, that's 6 zeros, folks, all from one little coin that you might just have hiding in a jar somewhere. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know why this penny is so special, how to identify one, and most importantly, how to avoid accidentally spending it on a pack of gum.so. What's the deal with the 1978 no mint mark penny? At first glance, it looks like any other penny. You've got Honest Abe looking pensive on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But the magic lies in what's missing: the mint mark. Normally, pennies from 1978 minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. That's not unusual. But the value of this coin comes from an extremely rare error during its production. It's all about a combination of perfect storm conditions, a unique die strike, pristine condition, and a little bit of luck. Collectors go wild for coins like this because they're 1 in a million, literally. Here's the kicker: if you've got one of these bad boys in mint condition, pun intended, you could be looking at a payday of over $1.1 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, or at least a really nice used car these days. Now, before you start tearing through your couch cushions, let's talk specifics. Here's how you identify this legendary penny. To fetch the big bucks, your coin needs to be in near-perfect condition. That means no scratches, dents, or signs it's been used as a makeshift screwdriver. The 1978 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it feels off, get it weighed. It could be a valuable variation. Look for a coin with that original luster, as if it just came out of the mint yesterday. And here's a pro tip: use a magnifying glass to examine the coin's edges and surfaces. If it's got a clean, error-free strike, you're in business. Let me tell you a little story. A couple of years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. You know, dusty boxes, old photos, and some pretty questionable holiday sweaters. In one box, we found a jar of coins from the 70s. I didn't think much of it at the time, but one penny caught my eye. It was shiny, almost like new, and had no mint mark. I did some quick research and thought, could this be the one? I was practically doing a happy dance in the attic until I realized it wasn't in mint condition. Yep, it had a tiny scratch, probably from being tossed around in a jar for 40 years. Moral of the story? Check your coins, but handle them with care. If you're not already into coin collecting, let this be your sign to start. It's like treasure hunting, but without the pirate ship. Plus, coins like this 1978 penny prove that sometimes the most valuable things are right under your nose or in your wallet. And hey, even if you don't find a $1 million penny, there are tons of other valuable coins out there. Did you know there's a 1943 penny made of steel that's worth a fortune? Or a 1955 penny with a double die error that's practically a celebrity in the coin world? Go through your spare change or that jar of pennies you've been ignoring. Learn what to look for: mint marks, errors, and unique features. A magnifying glass and a coin scale are must-haves for any collector. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Who knew something so small could be worth so much? It just goes to show you never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. Now, here's your mission: check your coins. And if you find one of these gems, let me know in the comments. I'd love to celebrate your $1 million discovery. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another tip on coins worth big money. I've got plenty more stories, strategies, and fun facts coming your way, so stay tuned. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Have you ever wondered if that penny sitting in your couch cushions could be worth a life-changing fortune? Well, you might want to double-check, because today, we're diving into one of the most mind-blowing stories in coin collecting, the 1967 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, currently valued at an incredible $1.2 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny could be worth more than your dream home. Stick around, because not only will I tell you why this coin is worth a fortune, but I'll also share some tips on how you can start hunting for hidden treasures like this in your own spare change. And hey, I might even throw in a personal story about how I almost missed out on a jackpot coin myself. Spoiler alert, I still kick myself for it.so. What's the deal with this 1967 penny, and why is it worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? First, let's talk about the no mint mark. Back in 1967, the US Mint decided to skip mint marks on all coins. Why? Because the government was worried that coin collectors were hoarding coins from specific mints, creating unnecessary shortages. So, if you see a 1967 penny without a mint mark, that's actually normal. But here's where it gets interesting: the reason this particular penny is so valuable isn't just the missing mint mark, it's the combination of its rarity, a minting error, and, drumroll please, the quality of the coin itself. Some of these pennies were struck using older dies or with slight errors that made them unique. Imagine finding a penny with an extra little bump, a faint double stamp, or a slight misalignment that could be your golden ticket. And now, here's where it gets personal. About 5 years ago, I was going through my old coin jar, the one you toss pennies into because they're too small to matter. Anyway, I noticed a 1967 penny that looked a bit different. It had this faint doubling on Lincoln's profile. I thought, cool, maybe it's worth a few bucks. But did I take it to an expert? Nope. I threw it back into the jar and forgot about it. A few months later, I saw a news article about a 1967 penny with a similar error selling for $1.2 million at auction. My heart sank faster than a rock in a pond. Moral of the story? Always check your coins before dismissing them. Now, how do you know if your 1967 penny is worth anything? Here are a few tips. Grab a magnifying glass and check for any unusual markings, doubling, or errors. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are worth significantly more. If your penny looks like it's been run over by a lawnmower, it's probably not worth much. If you think you have something special, send it to a professional grading service. They can confirm the coin's authenticity and assign it a grade, which determines its value. And here's a fun tip: if you don't have a magnifying glass, just borrow your grandma's reading glasses. She won't mind if it's for $1 million penny.so. There you have it, the story of the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny and why it's the king of pocket change. If you've got a coin jar, don't just let it collect dust. Who knows? You could be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. Before you go, let me leave you with this. Collecting coins isn't just about the money, it's about the thrill of the hunt, the history behind every coin, and the possibility of discovering something truly extraordinary. So, the next time you're handed a penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a second to look at it. That little coin could change your life. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more stories, tips, and strategies to share. Plus, you don't want to miss my upcoming video on another coin worth millions. Trust me, it's a good one. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Have you ever had that one penny sitting in a jar or jingling in your pocket, and you thought, it's just a penny, what could it be worth? Well, what if I told you there's a 1971 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny out there that's worth, wait for it, $1.3 million? Yes, you heard me right, a single penny. Today, we're diving into what makes this coin so special, how to spot it, and why it could be your ticket to an early retirement or at least a really fancy dinner. Stick around, because you don't want to miss this. Alright, so let's start with a bit of backstory on this penny. 1971 was a groovy time, bell bottoms were in, disco was alive, and Richard Nixon was president. But while most people were busy dancing to the Bee Gees, the US Mint was cranking out pennies like nobody's business. Now, normally, pennies from 1971 have a little mint mark indicating where they were made. For example, you'll see a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But the no mint mark 1971 penny? It's a whole other ball game. This little guy was minted in Philadelphia, and Philly pennies didn't get mint marks back then. Weird, right? So, what makes this penny worth $1.3 million? It's not just any 1971 no mint mark penny, it's got to be a rare error coin. Error coins happen when the mint makes a mistake, like striking the penny twice or using the wrong metal. These errors are like typos in history, quirky, fascinating, and super valuable. Collectors go absolutely bonkers for them. Here's a funny story. Back when I first got into coin collecting, I was rummaging through my grandma's old coin jar, the one she kept in her kitchen drawer for emergencies. I found this crusty old penny and thought, could this be it? Am I holding a fortune? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. It was just a really dirty penny. But hey, it sparked my obsession with checking every coin I come across. Moral of the story? Never underestimate a coin jar. Now, back to the 1971 no mint mark penny. If you think you've got one, here's what to do. First, grab a magnifying glass or loupe, no, not the one your kid uses for bug hunts, a real one. Check for any oddities, double strikes, off-center designs, or even unusual textures. If it looks like it's been through a rough day at the mint, you might be onto something. Next, you'll want to get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you if it's legit and give it a grade. The higher the grade, the more cha-ching it's worth. And remember, condition is everything. A penny that looks like it's been chewed by a dog? Probably not $1.3 million material. By the way, did you know one lucky collector found their 1971 penny at a garage sale? Imagine that, you're out looking for a $5 lamp, and you end up with a $1 million coin. Talk about hitting the jackpot. So, what's the takeaway here? Don't ignore your spare change. That little penny in your pocket could be a piece of history, and a seriously profitable one at that. Go ahead, check your coin jars, your couch cushions, even that random stash in your car. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a fortune. Before you go, I've got one small favor. If you found this video helpful or even just entertaining, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I mean, where else are you going to find someone this excited about pennies? Plus, we've got more tips, stories, and coin strategies coming your way. Let's turn your spare change into a goldmine, one penny at a time. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and casual treasure hunters. Let me ask you something. Have you ever checked your spare change and thought, what if one of these coins is worth a fortune? Well, hold on to your hats because today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1972 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, a penny currently valued at an eye-popping $1.40 million. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer and found a jar of pennies. Naturally, I thought, meh, just a bunch of pocket change. But after researching a little, I realized some pennies can be worth more than a mansion. That's when the obsession began, and now, here we are. If you're not already hooked, let me tell you this, by the end of this video, you'll be rifling through every couch cushion, car cup holder, and old piggy bank you've got. Let's start with the basics, the 1972 no mint mark penny. These were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, hence, no mint mark. Over 5 billion were minted, which begs the question, why is this one so special? It all boils down to one thing, a double die error. For those new to coin lingo, a double die is when the design is accidentally stamped twice, slightly off-center, creating a ghost effect. Imagine Lincoln giving a shadowy speech from the grave. Spooky, right? But seriously, this error makes these pennies incredibly rare and insanely valuable. And now, don't go running to your penny jar just yet. You'll need to know what to look for. The doubling is most noticeable on the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1972. If those letters look a bit blurry or almost like they're trying to escape the coin, congratulations, you might have hit the jackpot. A little tip: use a magnifying glass or even your phone camera to inspect your coins. No squinting required. Here's the deal: rarity equals value. Of the billions of 1972 pennies, only a small number have this double die error. Combine that with the demand from collectors, and you've got the perfect storm for a multi-million-dollar coin. One such penny in pristine condition, graded MS67, that's coin collector speak for almost perfect, sold for $1.4 million at auction. That's right, this tiny piece of copper can outshine your 401k. So, let me tell you about the time I thought I'd struck gold, or copper, in this case. I found a 1972 penny and immediately spotted what I thought was a double die. I was over the moon, imagining how I'd spend my newfound fortune. Maybe a trip to Hawaii or a Tesla. Long story short, it was just a regular penny with some dirt on it. Lesson learned: double check your finds before planning your dream vacation. But hey, it gave me a good laugh and fueled my passion for coin hunting. And if you think you found one of these rare pennies, don't just toss it in a Ziploc bag and call it a day. You'll need to get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. This step is crucial because collectors and auction houses only trust authenticated coins. The grading process might cost you a bit, but it's worth it if you're sitting on $1 million treasure. Plus, it gives you bragging rights at family gatherings. Once your penny is graded, the world is your oyster or your marketplace. You can list it on eBay, sell it to a collector, or even take it to an auction house. Trust me, the offers will pour in faster than you can say Lincoln. And there you have it, folks, the incredible tale of the 1972 no-mint mark penny, a simple coin with $1 million twist. Who knew something so small could make such a big impact? So, what are you waiting for? Go check your change jars, rummage through your old drawers, and don't forget to inspect every 1972 penny you come across. You never know, it could be your ticket to financial freedom. Before you go, here's a little challenge: subscribe to this channel for more tips on finding hidden treasures in everyday life. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and drop a comment below. Have you ever found a coin you thought was valuable? Let's swap stories. Hey, coin lovers and curious collectors. Imagine this: you're rummaging through your couch cushions, maybe hunting for the TV remote or that long-lost gummy bear, and bam! You stumble upon a penny. But not just any penny, the penny. A 1982 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yes, that's million with an M. Forget Powerball, folks, your piggy bank might just be the jackpot. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the treasure hidden in your loose change. Today, we're talking about this unassuming yet insanely valuable penny, its incredible backstory, and how you might just have one sitting in your collection or maybe in your car cup holder. Stick around, because this one's a game changer. Alright, let's dive into the juicy details. What makes the 1982 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? First, a little history lesson. Don't worry, I'll keep it fun. In 1982, the US Mint made a significant change to the Lincoln penny. They shifted from using mostly copper to a zinc-based planchet coated in copper. This was because copper prices were skyrocketing, and, let's face it, the government wasn't about to spend more making a penny than the penny was worth. But here's the twist: during the transition, some pennies were struck using the original copper planchet. Now, why no mint mark? Well, coins without a mint mark were typically produced in Philadelphia. But the absence of the mark, combined with the rare copper composition, created the perfect storm of collectability. Only a handful of these gems exist, making them rarer than a text from your ex apologizing. Now, let me tell you about my journey into coin collecting. Back in the day, I had a thing for arcade games. You know, stuffing quarters into machines and losing every time. But one day, I found myself out of quarters and reached for a penny jar my grandma kept. Inside, I noticed some pennies looked different. That curiosity led me down a rabbit hole of coin collecting. Did I find $1 million penny? Not yet, but hey, dreams don't cost anything. Fast forward to today, and I still get a thrill every time I check my spare change. Who knows? Maybe that 1982 no mint mark penny is out there, waiting to be discovered. If it happens, you'll know, because I'll probably livestream my happy dance. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1982 penny is the one? First, grab a magnet. If the penny sticks, it's made of zinc, not the copper you're looking for. If it doesn't stick, there's potential. Next, weigh it. Copper pennies weigh about 3.1 grams, while the zinc ones are lighter at 2.5 grams. Got a 3.1 gram 1982 penny with no mint mark? Jackpot, my friend. Now, before you throw a party, make sure it's verified by a professional grading service. Trust me, you don't want to be that person on eBay claiming their regular penny is worth millions. Awkward. So, why is this penny worth $1.5 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Coin collectors love a good story, and this penny delivers. The most recent auction for one of these beauties? $1.5 million. That's a house, a luxury car, or, I don't know, a lifetime supply of pizza now. Don't just take my word for it. Go ahead and look through your collection. Maybe it's time to dig through the dusty old jar on top of the fridge or raid Grandma's stash. Just don't blame me if she gets mad. Even if you don't strike it rich, collecting coins can be surprisingly rewarding. It's like a treasure hunt you can do in your pajamas. Plus, every coin has a story. That 1982 penny? It's not just currency, it's a slice of history, a piece of art, and, potentially, your ticket to an early retirement. Alright, folks, that's the story of the 1982 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew something so small could pack such a big punch? If you learned something new, or if you're about to dump out your coin jar all over the floor, hit that like button. And here's the deal, I've got plenty more stories like this, so make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss tips on coins that could change your life. Picture this. You're at a gas station, rummaging through your pockets for exact change. You toss a penny onto the counter, and boom, that little copper coin could have just paid for your dream vacation. Sound crazy? Well, it's not. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1997 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a humble coin with a whopping market value of $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, million with an M. Stick around, because this could be your ticket to hidden treasure. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, or should I say treasure hunters? Welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins that could be worth a fortune. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on finding your next big payday. Alright, let's get into it. Let's talk about this beauty right here, the 1997 mint mark Lincoln penny. First, what's so special about it? It's a penny. Well, not all pennies are created equal. This one comes with a rare twist. The D stands for Denver, where it was minted, and the 1997 penny has some unique characteristics that make it extremely valuable. Here's what to look for: sharp details, a clean strike, and here's the kicker, an error. Yep, it's the errors that make these coins worth the big bucks. The most sought-after 1997 pennies have a double die error. This means parts of the design, like Lincoln's face or the text, appear doubled. It's subtle, but collectors lose their minds over this stuff. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I have one? Here's a little tip: grab a magnifying glass and check the coin's lettering and date. If anything looks like it's got a shadow or double image, congrats. You might be holding a $1 million penny. You know, this reminds me of a time when I was cleaning out my junk drawer, because who doesn't have one of those, right? Anyway, I found this penny that looked a little off. I got so excited, thinking I'd struck gold, well, copper, technically. I rushed to a coin dealer, only for them to tell me it was just a smudge. Talk about heartbreak. But hey, now I know what to look for, and so do you. Speaking of striking it rich, let's talk about that $1.6 million price tag. A pristine 1997 penny with a double die error sold for that at auction. Why so much? Because it's rare, and rarity drives up demand. Coin collectors are like art collectors, they'll pay big bucks for something unique. Here's another pro tip: condition matters. A coin in mint state, meaning it looks almost brand new, is worth way more than one that's been through the laundry 3 times. So, if you've got a jar of pennies at home, it's time to give them a closer look. Who knows, that jar might be your retirement fund. And hey, don't underestimate the power of luck. Sometimes these valuable coins pop up in the most random places. A guy once found a rare penny in his kid's piggy bank. Talk about a jackpot. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1997 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. It might just be hiding in your pocket change, waiting to change your life. Remember, look for that mint mark, check for errors, and keep your eyes peeled for anything unusual. And don't forget, condition is key. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got tons of content coming your way about finding hidden treasures in everyday places. Who knows, you might be sitting on a fortune right now. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a valuable coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, treasure hunters! What if I told you the penny you tossed into your car's cup holder or dropped in your couch could be worth $1.7 million? Sounds crazy, right? But today, we're diving deep into one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history, the 1984 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, a penny. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just want to go through every jar of spare change you've got lying around. Let's rewind to 1984. Michael Jackson was moonwalking, Ghostbusters was busting ghosts, and someone in Philadelphia was unknowingly minting one of the most valuable pennies ever. This coin isn't just any ordinary penny, it's a legend. And here's why. What makes this penny worth more than a Lamborghini? 2 words: double die. That's coin collector lingo for a minting error where certain details on the coin appear doubled. On the 1984 penny, Honest Abe gets a little extra attention. His ear looks like it's got a twin. Seriously, it's as if the engraver was like, let's give Lincoln a superpower, double hearing. This error wasn't intentional, but it created a masterpiece. The doubling is most noticeable on Abe's ear and sometimes on the Liberty text. The rarity and demand for this mistake have collectors battling it out at auctions. Currently, the 1984 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny with this error can fetch up to $1.7 million. That's more than most houses. Imagine going to a vending machine, popping in a penny, and accidentally spending a fortune. Wild, isn't it? Let me share a little story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic, the typical free labor in exchange for cookies deal. We found an old coffee can filled with pennies. I was like, Grandma, this could be my ticket to fame. So, I sat there for hours, combing through each coin like an archaeologist. Sadly, no $1 million penny, but I did find a 1955 wheat penny worth about $20. Not bad for attic digging, right? Now, every time I get a penny, I give it a good look. I've officially become that weird person inspecting change at the grocery store. And you know what? It's kind of fun. Okay, so how do you know if you've got the jackpot penny? Here's a quick checklist. Look for the date 1984. Check Abe's ear. If it looks doubled, you might be onto something. No mint mark below the date? That's perfect. This penny was minted in Philadelphia, and they didn't use mint marks back then. Not if you think you found one, don't just throw it on eBay. Get it verified by a professional coin grading service. Trust me, this could be your retirement plan. Alright, so what did we learn today? A single penny can be worth $1.7 million. And the 1984 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest things can hold big surprises. And now, here's your homework: start digging through those jars, wallets, and coin purses. Who knows? Your next grocery store trip might end with a $1 million discovery. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of coin enthusiasts. We're all about turning small change into life-changing discoveries. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with someone who needs a new hobby or a new millionaire dream. Hey, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters! What if I told you there's a 1979 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny out there that could fetch you a cool $1.80 million? Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth more than a mansion. Imagine finding that in your pocket change. Now, before you go diving into your couch cushions, stick around because I'm about to spill all the juicy details about this legendary coin. Plus, I'll share a little story about how I almost mistook a valuable penny for a vending machine snack. You don't want to miss this one, it could change your life. So, what makes the 1979 D Mint Mark penny so special? First, let's break it down. The D stands for Denver, where the coin was minted. And while millions of pennies were struck that year, this particular one has a unique secret sauce that skyrockets its value. It's all about a rare error in the minting process. These errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual alloys, are like hidden treasures for coin collectors. They're the reason why this specific penny has a jaw-dropping price tag of $1.8 million in today's market. Yup, a single penny that's worth more than a Lamborghini. Crazy, right? Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but how do I know if I have the penny? Great question. First, look for the year 1979. Easy, right? Next, check for the D Mint mark under the date. This indicates it was minted in Denver. But here's the kicker, it's the fine details that matter. Rare coins like this often have microscopic anomalies that can only be seen under magnification. Here's a pro tip, grab a magnifying glass or even one of those fancy jeweler's loupes. If you notice doubling on the inscriptions or Lincoln's profile, you might just have hit the jackpot. I'm not saying quit your day job just yet, but you might want to start daydreaming about what you'd do with $1.8 million. Now, let me tell you a little story about the time I almost let a valuable coin slip through my fingers, literally. A few months ago, I was at a gas station, digging through my pocket change to grab a candy bar. I saw the shiny penny and thought, that looks kind of different. But instead of inspecting it, I tossed it into the vending machine like it was any old coin. Fast forward 2 weeks, I started researching rare pennies and realized the coin I had looked suspiciously similar to a high-value error penny. You better believe I went back to that gas station and stared at that vending machine like it owed me money. Lesson learned, always check your change. That candy bar was good, but not $1.8 million good. Alright, let's talk about the market for this coin. Why are collectors willing to shell out millions for a penny? It's all about rarity and demand. Coins like the 1979 D penny are sought after because they're incredibly scarce. Add the fact that coin collecting is a booming hobby, and you've got yourself a recipe for sky-high prices. The last time one of these rare pennies sold, it went for a whopping $1.8 million at auction. Can you imagine the bidding war? It's like the Super Bowl for coin nerds, minus the halftime show. If you're lucky enough to own one of these pennies, you're basically holding a golden ticket. Now, here's where it gets fun. You don't need to be a professional collector to find valuable coins. Start by checking your pocket change, your piggy bank, or that jar of coins gathering dust on your kitchen counter. Garage sales, flea markets, and even old coin rolls from the bank are great hunting grounds too. Trust me, it's like treasure hunting, but without the pirates. And here's a little insider strategy, join coin collecting groups online. These communities are full of enthusiasts who love sharing tips and spotting hidden gems. Who knows? You might even find a mentor who can help you decode the mysteries of your coins. So, what's the moral of the story? Don't underestimate the humble penny, it could be worth a fortune. The 1979 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof that big things come in small packages. Now, if this inspired you to start hunting for rare coins, you're in the right place. Before you go grab your coin collection, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of videos coming your way with more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're about to start your treasure hunt. Let's keep this coin conversation going, because who knows? Your next penny might just be the $1 million one. Hey there, coin lovers! Did you know that one tiny penny could be worth a small fortune? I'm not talking about a penny from your pocket change, but one with a very specific mint mark. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1964 D Lincoln penny, a coin that could be worth up to $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $1.1 million. So grab your magnifying glass, because this might just be the treasure you've been looking for. But first, let me ask you, how many of you have just thrown pennies aside, thinking they're not worth much? Be honest, I know some of you are guilty. Wink. Well, by the end of this video, you might just think twice before tossing any pennies in the future. Trust me, this little coin could change the way you look at your loose change forever. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1964 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and it's pretty common to find. In fact, over 4.6 billion of these coins were made. So, you're probably wondering, how can something so common be worth so much? The answer lies in its rare error variety. And now, don't go thinking that every 1964 D penny is worth $1 million. If it were that easy, we'd all be walking around in gold shoes. Laughs, but what sets the valuable ones apart is a very specific characteristic, a slight but significant error in the way the coin was struck. This error is called a double die variety, and it happens when the die used to strike the coin gets misaligned during the minting process. When this happens, it results in a blurry or doubled image of Abraham Lincoln, especially in the lettering. The difference is subtle but noticeable if you look closely, especially in the Liberty and In God We Trust areas. Imagine you're at a flea market, just chilling, and someone hands you a stack of pennies. You sift through them, looking for something interesting, and bam! You spot a 1964 D penny with this double die error. It catches your eye because the lettering looks off, a bit blurry. Now, most people would toss it aside, thinking it's just another dirty old penny. But you, being the smart coin aficionado that you are, realize, wait, this could be worth big bucks. That moment of discovery? It's like finding an ancient treasure, but in your wallet. Okay, so you found it, and now you're wondering why it's so valuable. Well, here's where the story gets interesting. Because this error is rare, it's sought after by serious collectors and investors. The 1964 D double die penny has become a coveted coin in the numismatic world, with one in mint condition selling for around $1.1 million. To put that in perspective, the average price of a regular 1964 D penny is just a few cents, maybe a dime if it's in great shape. But the one with the error? It's like stumbling upon a $100 bill in a pile of pennies. And that is the kind of lucky find that makes all those hours of sifting through coin jars worth it. Speaking of luck, let me tell you about my personal penny hunting adventure. A while ago, I was at a local flea market just casually browsing, not expecting to find anything crazy. I've always been a fan of old coins, so I grabbed a few handfuls of pennies from this guy's booth who was practically giving them away for pennies on the dollar. Laughs, I started sifting through, and then I spotted one coin that looked a little off. It had the same kind of blurry features I'm describing, the same double die error. I nearly freaked out. I ran over to the vendor and asked if he knew anything about it. He thought it was just a regular penny, and I was this close to making a deal for pocket change. But instead, I walked away with a coin worth hundreds. Thankfully, I caught the mistake. So, if you're ever at a market, a coin shop, or just going through your spare change, remember, there could be a hidden gem waiting for you. Alright, so you're probably itching to check your pennies now, right? If you've got a 1964 D in your collection, or if you've got a jar of loose change lying around, now's the time to check it closely. Here's a quick checklist for spotting that double die error. Look for clear doubling on the lettering in Liberty and In God We Trust. Inspect the Lincoln portrait for any noticeable doubling. Use a magnifying glass if needed. Don't rely on your naked eye for this. If you think you found a valuable 1964 D penny, take it to a professional numismatist or coin dealer to get it authenticated. You want to make sure you're sitting on a goldmine and not just another penny that you could spend on a cup of coffee. If you enjoyed today's treasure hunt and want to learn more about rare coins, penny hunting, and strategies to turn your change into cash, make sure to hit that subscribe button. There's a lot more where that came from. We'll keep diving into the world of valuable coins, one penny at a time. And don't forget to drop a comment if you found any cool coins yourself. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for tuning in, and happy hunting, coin lovers. Stay sharp and keep your eyes on those pennies. You never know when the next $1 million find is going to come your way. Alright, you're sitting there, sipping your coffee, maybe scrolling through your phone, and you come across a penny. A penny. You think to yourself, just another coin to toss in the jar, right? But what if I told you that one of those pennies could be worth a whopping $1.2 million? Yeah, you heard me right, $1.2 million. And no, I'm not talking about some mythical treasure from a pirate's chest. I'm talking about the 1952 Lincoln penny. Stick around because today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting and how you could strike it big with a penny, the basics of the 1952 Lincoln penny. Okay, let's start with the basics. The 1952 Abraham Lincoln penny is part of the famous Lincoln wheat cents series. You know, the ones with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the back, making it look like a farm-to-market deal for coins. But wait, why does this particular 1952 penny have such a high value? It's not just any penny. The S on the coin stands for the San Francisco Mint where it was made. Now, this penny isn't rare in the way a one-of-a-kind item is. There are millions of 1952 pennies out there, but here's the kicker: a small number of them were minted with a little extra charm. We're talking about minting mistakes, imperfections, and errors that make them unique in the eyes of collectors. Imagine this: you have a coin that, on the surface, looks just like the penny you might find in your couch cushions, but thanks to a unique mistake at the mint, it could fetch you a fortune. Those imperfections could be the very thing that makes these pennies worth big money. When I say big money, I mean million-dollar money. So, what's the deal with this penny's current market value, the value of the 1952 Lincoln penny now? I know you're wondering, is this for real? Well, let's get into it. The 1952 Lincoln penny that sold for $1.2 million isn't your run-of-the-mill penny. It's the result of some very specific factors, like minting errors or being in incredibly pristine condition. Collectors are always on the lookout for rare coins with these qualities: low mintage numbers, unique mistakes, and high-grade preservation. Here's the thing though, most of the 1952 pennies you find in your change are not going to be worth $1.2 million. But, here's where it gets good. The idea is to look for that needle in the haystack, the one penny among millions that's got that minting error, that perfect condition, or even an unexpected twist that makes it stand out from the rest. So how do you go about finding this golden penny? Let me give you a quick story to explain it better. Alright, quick side story. A couple of years ago, I decided to go all in on coin hunting. I had a bunch of pennies, some from the 60s, some from the 70s, and a few random ones from the 80s and 90s. I thought, why not? It's fun, and who knows, maybe I'll find something valuable. So, I grabbed my magnifying glass, because yes, that's how hardcore I am about this, and started inspecting my coins like some sort of treasure hunter. After hours of sifting through pennies, I found one. Just one. A 1943 penny that looked a little off. After a quick search online, I found out that this coin was worth quite a bit more than I thought. Now, while my penny wasn't worth $1.2 million, unfortunately, it did teach me one thing: the more you look, the more you might find. And the 1952 Lincoln penny is another example of just how valuable these everyday coins can be when you know what to look for. A great question. If you're out there looking for a 1952 Lincoln penny with the potential to be worth big money, there are a few things to keep in mind. This is probably the most important factor. A penny that's been through the ringer, banged up in your pocket for years, isn't going to be worth nearly as much as one that's in mint condition. You're looking for coins with sharp details, a lack of wear and tear, and no visible scratches. Remember those little mistakes at the mint? If you find a 1952 Lincoln penny that has an error like a double die, where the lettering or details appear more than once, that could make your coin super valuable. These errors are rare and highly sought after by collectors. Not every 1952 penny will be worth millions, but the key here is finding the rare ones that stand out for being in mint condition or having a unique characteristic. The more rare the coin, the more valuable it is. How can you get your hands on one, you might be wondering? Where do I even find these rare pennies? Well, you've got a few options. Look for local coin dealers who specialize in rare coins. They often have a wide variety of pennies and may even have some high-value ones on display. There are tons of online auction sites like eBay where collectors buy and sell coins. Keep an eye out for any 1952 Lincoln pennies listed with the possibility of errors. These are like coin buffets, tons of dealers under one roof, all vying to sell their prized pennies. It's a great place to find rare finds, especially if you're willing to haggle a little. Alright, my fellow coin hunting adventurers, I hope this video helped you see just how much potential that little penny you find in your change could have. If you've learned something today, smash the like button. And if you want more tips on valuable coins, strategies for finding rare gems, and the stories behind them, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our next coin hunting adventure. Who knows, maybe the next video will have a story about how you found your own $1 million penny. Hey, coin lovers! Imagine rummaging through your spare change, pulling out a penny, and discovering it's worth over $1 million. Sounds like something from a dream, right? Well, get ready to wake up because we're diving into one of the most shocking and most valuable pennies in the world right now, the 1987 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. That's right, a penny from the 80s that could potentially make you a millionaire. Stick around because we're about to turn this little coin into some big money, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you love talking about coins, collecting, or simply want to know if you're holding on to that next big treasure, you're in the right place. Today's episode is all about the 1987 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. It's got some serious value, like, a lot of value, and I'll tell you why. So, grab your magnifying glass, put on your detective hat, and let's get into it. Let's start with the basics. The 1987 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, at first glance, might look like your typical penny. You know, that little copper coin you drop on the floor when you're not looking. But wait, don't toss it yet. This penny's got a secret, and it's one that could make you $1.3 million richer. Now, the D-Mint mark is key here. It stands for Denver, where the coin was produced. Usually, pennies from the 80s are pretty standard, they're in circulation, they're common, and unless you've got something truly rare, they won't exactly make you a fortune. So, what's so special about the 1987 D? Well, this one's been marked as an anomaly. Some of these pennies came out with an off-center strike, meaning the design didn't align properly. Others have rare errors in their die, making them much more sought after by collectors and investors. These imperfections make the 1987 D penny worth far more than you might expect. You might be wondering, how did this penny go from being worth 1 cent to being worth $1.3 million? The short answer: rarity and condition. The minting process is a complex one, and sometimes, things go wrong. Those mistakes turn out to be the gold in the coin collecting world. When a coin is struck imperfectly, it can be one of a kind or a very limited error. In the case of the 1987 D penny, certain versions of the coin were either struck with mistakes or have worn down in a unique way that makes them highly collectible. And now, I'll be honest, finding one of these rare pennies in your change is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. But there are some people out there who have done it. In fact, the reason the value of the 1987 D penny is so high is because they are few and far between. Mint errors like this are what make collectors go wild. Let me tell you a little story from my own coin hunting days. A while back, I was casually going through a jar of pennies I had kept in the back of my closet. I was hoping to find something cool, maybe an old wheat penny or, dare I say it, a rare 1943 copper penny. Don't get me started. Anyway, I pull out a 1987 penny, and for a second, I thought, another regular penny. But as I looked closer, I noticed a tiny flaw in the design. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be? No, it couldn't be. It wasn't the $1 million penny, but it was enough to get me excited. Long story short, it didn't make me a millionaire, but it did teach me an important lesson: always look twice at your coins, especially the ones you think are worthless. You just never know what hidden gems you might find. Alright, so now you're probably asking, how do I know if I've got a valuable 1987 D penny? Here's what you need to look for. Check for off-center strikes, double strikes, or die cracks. These are the big moneymakers. If your 1987 D penny is in pristine condition, as in, no signs of wear and tear, it's more likely to be worth more. The rarer the error, the higher the price. Certain versions of the 1987 D are more sought after than others, and you'll want to research which specific errors are driving up the price, but remember, not every 1987 D penny is going to make you rich. You've got to be on the lookout for those specific flaws and know where to find buyers who are willing to pay top dollar for them. So, what have we learned today? The 1987 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a simple coin, it's a valuable piece of history that can potentially make you millions, all thanks to some minting mistakes and the magic of rarity. If you happen to find one, or if you've got one tucked away in your collection, it could be worth far more than you think. Now, I know what you're thinking: where do I even start looking for one of these $1 million pennies? And my answer is simple: start with what you've got. Go through those old jars of change, check your pocket change, and don't toss those pennies without a second look. With a little effort and some luck, you could be holding on to a small fortune. Before you go, Here's my final call to action. If you enjoyed learning about the 1987 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny and want to know more about valuable coins, strategies for finding rare ones, or how to cash in on your collection, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and coin hunting stories to help you on your way to building a valuable collection. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy hunting, and don't forget to check your change. You never know what might be lurking in your pockets. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Let me ask you a question. What if I told you there's a coin out there that could be sitting in your pocket, gathering dust, and it could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's not just a fantasy. That's the potential value of a specific 2008 Lincoln penny, a coin so rare, it's practically the unicorn of the penny world now. I know what you're thinking, a penny? Really? What's the catch? Stick around, because today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2008 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny and how this little guy could make you a lot of money. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get into it, alright? So let's start with the basics. The 2008 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might look like any other penny. It's got that familiar Abraham Lincoln design with the iconic memorial on the back, but here's the catch, it has no mint mark now. You might be asking, wait, aren't mint marks supposed to be there? Why is it missing? Great question. Normally, the US Mint stamps a letter on each coin to show where it was made. For example, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. But in 2008, something unusual happened. The US Mint forgot to stamp the mint mark on a bunch of coins, and that's where the value starts to kick in when it comes to rare coins. Scarcity is king. And these 2008 no mint mark pennies? They're scarce. We're talking about a coin that's considered a mistake by collectors. A minting error, as they call it. You might be thinking, but what makes a mistake so valuable? Well, in the world of coin collecting, errors can actually make a coin more desirable. It's like that time you spilled coffee on your favorite shirt. It's a mess, but somehow, people think it's a cool, vintage look. Here's the thing, these pennies didn't just slip through the cracks. They were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, but for whatever reason, no P mint mark made it onto the coin. And that tiny oversight is what's making these pennies worth a fortune. It's one of those happy accidents that collectors are willing to pay big money for. So, how rare are these 2008 no mint mark pennies, really? Well, we don't have an exact number, but it's believed that only a small batch of these error coins was released into circulation. And the ones that are in good condition, especially those without scratches or wear, can fetch incredible amounts on the open market. Some of them have sold for as much as $1.40 million. Now, don't run off to the couch and start searching your couch cushions for a fortune just yet. You need to understand that not every 2008 penny without a mint mark is worth that much. Like most valuable coins, it comes down to condition. If your penny is covered in dents, rust, or fingerprints, it's probably not going to land you $1 million. This actually reminds me of a time I thought I had a rare coin in my pocket. I was at a garage sale, the place where dreams, or nightmares, come true. I found this old, worn-out quarter, and I thought, this has got to be it. This is the one. I bought it for 25 cents, thinking it could be worth hundreds of dollars. Long story short, it wasn't worth a thing. Turns out, the coin was so worn down, I could barely make out what it was. But hey, at least I got a story to tell, right? The point is, when it comes to valuable coins, condition is everything. A shiny, crisp 2008 no mint mark penny could be worth a fortune, while one that's been sitting in your coin jar for years, getting banged around, might not be worth much. So, now that we've got your hopes up, don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging. Let's talk about how you can actually check your pennies to see if you've stumbled upon one of these gems. First, make sure it's from 2008. The year will be right there on the front, next to Abe Lincoln's profile. The crucial part is to check the reverse side of the penny. There should normally be a P mint mark under the word E pluribus unum. Fancy, right? If there's no mint mark, then congratulations, you might have one of these rare error coins. If your penny is in great shape, meaning it has no significant damage, wear, or corrosion, then you've got a better shot at getting top dollar. If you think you've got one of these rare pennies, it's worth getting it graded by a professional service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. They'll assess the condition and certify the value, which can help you sell it for more money. So, there you have it, the 2008 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. This tiny coin might just be worth way more than you think, and with a little luck and some careful inspection, you could find one of these valuable error coins hiding in your change jar. Remember, not every 2008 penny is worth $1 million, but hey, if you find one in perfect condition, you could be looking at a small fortune. Now, I've got to be honest, coin collecting can be a wild ride, but it's also a lot of fun. Whether you're in it for the thrill of finding rare coins or just to learn about the fascinating history behind them, there's always something new to discover. If you've enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies for spotting hidden treasures, and maybe a few more stories of my coin hunting adventures, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've got tons of exciting content coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss out. Imagine going through a pile of pennies, just like any other day, when suddenly, boom, you find a coin worth over $1 million. Sounds like something out of a movie, right? But it's not fiction, it's reality. Welcome to the world of rare coins, where a simple penny could turn into your ticket to financial freedom. Today, we're talking about the 1985 mint mark Lincoln penny, yes, that unassuming little copper coin you probably have in your pocket right now, and how it's currently worth a whopping $1.5 million. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this penny is worth so much and how you could find one yourself. Now, I know what you're thinking, $1 million penny? That sounds like a crazy online ad. But trust me, I'm not here to sell you anything. I just want to share some mind-blowing coin facts and hopefully, inspire you to check your spare change in a whole new way. So, what makes the 1985 mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable? Is it magic? Is it cursed? No, it's just good old coin collecting science mixed with a dash of rarity. This coin is valuable because of a very rare minting error. You see, most 1985 pennies are worth only a few cents. But a specific, incredibly rare variety of the 1985 penny, thanks to a minting mishap, is worth up to $1.5 million in perfect condition. We're talking about pennies that were struck with a double die, a fancy term for a coin that was stamped twice in the same spot, causing the design to appear doubled. Basically, it's like having two versions of Abraham Lincoln's face on one coin. And let me tell you, when Lincoln looks at you twice, he's not just checking your change, he's making your bank account look a whole lot better. Now, I know what you're thinking. A double die? Is that like a double rainbow but for coins? Kinda. A double die happens when a coin is struck twice during the minting process, and the second strike is slightly misaligned, causing the design to overlap and repeat. It's like when you try to make a print in art class, but the second stamp doesn't line up perfectly, except this time, that imperfection makes the coin incredibly valuable. But hold up. Just finding a 1985 penny isn't going to make you a millionaire. You've got to be on the lookout for one that's in mint condition, pun intended. These rare, valuable pennies are only worth big bucks if they are in near perfect shape, no scratches, no wear, no bent edges. The more pristine the coin, the more cash it'll bring in. Okay, so let me tell you a little story. I was once at a garage sale, digging through a box of random coins. Most of them were just, well, junk. You know the kind, pennies from the 70s that look like they've been to war and back. But then, I pulled out this dirty, tarnished old penny. At first, I thought, probably just a regular 1985. But as I looked closer, I saw a slight doubling on the letters. I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought it was a fluke, but it turned out to be a double die error. It wasn't worth $1 million, but I did manage to sell it for a couple of $100. Moral of the story? Always check your pennies, because you never know when you'll hit the jackpot. So, why specifically the 1985 mint mark? The minting error happened at the Denver Mint, and it was an extremely rare occurrence. Only a small number of these double die pennies were released into circulation. And when you combine rarity with perfect condition, you've got a coin that's as valuable as a treasure chest buried in your backyard, except with a much higher chance of finding it. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1985 mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just another forgotten coin from the 80s. If you find one with that double die error, it could be worth up to $1.5 million. But remember, not every 1985 penny is a winner, so you've got to pay close attention to the details and make sure it's in good condition. always be on the lookout, who knows, you might have a hidden treasure in your pocket right now. If you loved this video, hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up, because we're just getting started. I've got more tips and tricks on rare coins, how to spot valuable ones, and strategies for building your own collection of coins worth serious cash. So, if you want to be the next person telling a crazy "I found a $1.5 million penny" story, make sure you stick around for more content. Drop a comment below if you've ever found any coins that turned out to be worth more than you thought, or if you're just as obsessed with pennies as I am. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, sometimes the smallest things are worth the most. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Have you ever found a penny and thought, wow, this could be worth something? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about a penny that could have you diving into your piggy bank, the 1968 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, before you go rummaging through your couch cushions, thinking you're about to find a goldmine, hear me out. This penny isn't just any ordinary piece of pocket change, it's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.6 million. It's the kind of find that could make you start questioning every penny you've ever tossed aside, but don't worry, I'm not just here to give you the million-dollar penny pitch and leave you hanging. We're going to break down exactly why this penny is worth so much, how to spot it, and maybe even share a funny story or two about how we've all been guilty of ignoring the potential treasures lying right under our noses. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's dig into the world of rare coins in the 1968 D penny. Alright, let's get down to business. The 1968 D penny isn't the kind of coin you'll find just anywhere. You might be asking, what's so special about a penny that's, well, just a penny? Well, here's the thing, the 1968 D penny has a history, a little twist of fate, and even a bit of a mystery surrounding it. The 1968 D penny was produced in Denver, hence the D-Mint mark. But what makes it stand out from the rest of the 1968 pennies, and even other Lincoln pennies, is something quite rare, a double die error. This means that the coin was struck twice, creating a slightly offset, double image of Abraham Lincoln's profile and the date. Now, this might not sound like much, but trust me, to collectors, it's a big deal. When coins like this are made, they become extremely valuable because of the rarity of the error. Imagine you're baking cookies and only one batch has a weird, perfect glitch in the shape of a heart. Wouldn't you want that batch? Of course, you would. That's exactly what collectors are after, and now, I bet you're wondering, how do I spot one of these precious pennies? It's all in the details, my friend. First, look at the date and the Lincoln bust. If you can see a noticeable doubling or if the lines look like they're almost shifting, you found the jackpot. Of course, you'll need a good magnifying glass, or maybe even a loupe, to really catch the fine details. But trust me, it's worth the effort, and here's where things get even more exciting. This penny isn't just rare, it's a sought-after piece in the coin collecting community. You see, finding one of these 1968 D pennies in good condition is already an accomplishment, but finding one in excellent condition, especially with the double die error, is a whole different level. These coins can be sold for up to $1.6 million, which is a huge chunk of change for a little copper disc. And if you think that's unbelievable, think about this, there are people out there who have sold similar error coins for even more. It's like finding a golden ticket in your cereal box, but instead of chocolate factories, you're swimming in a pool of rare coins. Who knew pennies could be so magical, right? Now, here's a funny thing. I remember when I first got into coin collecting, and by getting into it, I mean I picked up a couple of pennies from my mom's coin jar thinking they were worth something. Yeah, I thought every penny I found was a potential goldmine. It wasn't until I started doing some research that I realized most of those pennies were worth, well, not much more than their face value. But hey, it was a start, and at least I didn't toss them away like most people do. Speaking of tossing pennies away, let's talk about the classic coin toss. You know, when you flip a coin to decide something, heads or tails? I always thought it was such a great way to make decisions, like whether I should buy that extra large pizza for myself or just go with the smaller one. But imagine this, what if, instead of heads or tails, you were flipping a coin that's worth $1 million? Suddenly, my decision on pizza seems a lot more important. Should I order 2 pizzas? Or should I sell the penny and really treat myself? Decisions. So, to wrap things up, if you happen to find a 1968 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, hold on to it. But remember, it's all about knowing what to look for. Look for that double die error, make sure the coin is in good condition, and get it appraised if you think you might have a hidden treasure. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and who knows? Maybe that penny you were about to throw in the fountain could be your ticket to a small fortune. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on more tips about valuable coins and how to spot those hidden gems. I'll be here, helping you navigate the world of numismatics, one shiny penny at a time. And hey, if you find that $1 million coin, don't forget to send me a thank you card. I'll be waiting for the invite to your coin museum. Hey, what's up, coin lovers? Let me ask you something. How many of you have that jar of loose change somewhere in your house? You know, the one that's been sitting there for years, gathering dust, with no real purpose other than collecting lint? Well, let me tell you, that jar could be hiding a small fortune, and I'm not just talking about the occasional rare quarter you got as change when buying a coffee today. We're diving into a coin that's worth way more than you probably think, the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Yeah, you heard that right, a penny from 1979 could be sitting in your collection, worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, it's true. Stick around because I'm about to break it all down for you in the next 20 minutes. You won't want to miss this, especially if you've got a pile of old pennies sitting around, alright, so let's get into it. You might be asking, what's so special about a 1979 penny? Well, the 1979 Lincoln penny, especially the ones without a mint mark, is a super rare find. It's like the unicorn of the penny world. But why? Let me give you a little backstory on this. So, in 1979, the US Mint was going through some changes. They were trying to keep up with the demand for pennies, and to do that, they cranked out a ton of them. But here's the kicker, most of the 1979 pennies were stamped with a mint mark. The problem was, some of the coins came out without that mint mark, which is super rare. No mint mark means fewer of those pennies were made, and that's what makes them so valuable today. And now, here's the thing, finding one of these 1979 no mint mark pennies in circulation is like winning the lottery. Seriously. It's not something you're going to just stumble upon. These coins are often tucked away in old collections or hidden away in drawers of people who don't realize what they've got. But what makes this penny worth a cool $1.7 million? Well, it all comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, and historical context. Coin collectors and investors go crazy for these types of finds because they're not only rare but are also in demand from both collectors and investors looking for solid returns. Imagine finding something in your pocket worth as much as a house. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so maybe this penny is rare, but how do I know if I've got one worth millions? Good question. You can easily tell if it's a 1979 no mint mark penny just by looking closely. First, check the front of the coin. If there's no mint mark under the year 1979, you've got a potential jackpot on your hands. But don't go getting too excited just yet because condition is everything. If your penny looks like it's been through a blender, scratches, dings, dirt, you might not be in luck. Condition is a huge factor in how much a coin is worth. The rarer the coin and the better the condition, the more valuable it is. So, if your penny looks like it's in great shape, you're probably sitting on something that could fetch a pretty penny, pun totally intended. But here's the thing, don't start flipping through your change collection just yet. Even though a 1979 no mint mark penny could be worth $1.7 million, finding one in mint condition is next to impossible. That's why so many of these coins are locked away in private collections or in vaults somewhere. But hey, that doesn't mean you shouldn't check your stash of coins. You never know what might be hiding in there. Speaking of unexpected finds, let me share a quick story. A few years back, I was going through some old coins my grandfather had given me. I wasn't really paying much attention, thinking they were all just a bunch of old change that didn't amount to much. But as I was sorting through them, I stumbled upon a 1943 steel penny. Now, most of you probably know that the 1943 steel pennies are worth a lot of money, but back then, I had no idea. I almost tossed it in the just a regular penny pile. Luckily, I stopped myself just in time. That penny, in great condition, turned out to be worth a couple $100 at the time, and if I had let it go unnoticed, I would have missed out on a small fortune. Moral of the story? Always check your coins, even the ones that seem common. You never know when a piece of history might be staring back at you, so, there you have it, the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Who would have thought that a simple penny could be worth $1.7 million, right? But remember, finding one of these rare beauties in good condition is a long shot, and even if you do find one, be sure to get it appraised by a professional to know its true value. But hey, this isn't just about the 1979 penny. There are tons of other coins out there that could be worth a lot of money if you know where to look. And if you want to learn more about how to spot valuable coins hiding in plain sight, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Trust me, I've got plenty of tips, tricks, and insider knowledge to help you discover coins worth big bucks. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that turned out to be worth more than you expected.